Guys, gals, and fellow gender non-conforming pals, welcome back. My legal name is C28, and I've got a fun little project planned. More on that in a bit. So, today in pop culture and media, we went into some detail now. Here we got a lot of detail in class this time. A lot of the learning seems to be done out of class, with discussions taking place in class to converse the ideas among our peers. Previously, like last week was a lot of watching videos on the different topics of different categories of culture, from high culture, which is like upper class, like fancy stuff, plays and whatnot, to low culture, which is like the standard stuff, Marvel movies and whatnot, also known as popular culture. That's what pop culture tends to refer to, as that low culture idea. Then you also got other subcultures of specific things. So say people who do video logs. Lots of different definitions thrown about, but the videos that we watched in our integrative learning certainly helped out tremendously with understanding those concepts, and where I think the primary way that we really took in the information was through those, as opposed to the lectures. But the lectures are certainly still beneficial and, of course, required for credit. You need attendance hours. But this week we are talking about different forms of media and how they're taken in by an audience, how the audience affects the media, how the media affects the audience, all the dynamics there. So very fun stuff. Let's get into it. So TV has been a medium that a lot of us have taken most of our media in from, as watching TV, things over public broadcast. But that has tremendously dipped in recent years. TV is no longer becoming the most prominent media source. It's now people watching stuff on streaming services. And when I say television, I don't mean the big display. I mean like antenna in the back, picking up signals, public broadcasting system. Boom. FCC and all. So on the FCC media, that stuff, that's what I'm referring to when I say TV. So that has really gone down significantly in recent years, especially with the rise of the internet. I think the internet was the top thing that made this really die out, especially Netflix. I mean, you anger the wrong fellow with a $40 late fee, and suddenly Blockbuster goes, gone, bye-bye. Whoa, who would have saw that coming? I mean, probably could, to be honest, but still. Point is, that's a major form of media intake for a lot of people that is no longer as prevalent. So we talked about some other forms of media consumption that are maybe a little bit more futuristic or out there or wild, and not necessarily a new media source, but like new ways to convey ideas that could possibly even replace what we have now with streaming services, where streaming services become a thing of the past, where we're like, oh, you still watch Hulu? Are you mad? So think of the holograms of Tupac, of Michael Jackson, those sort of things. You don't really see that happening anytime outside the 2000s, do you? Really the 2010s. So it's a relatively new bit of tech that is cool. It's different. And I think it's very possible that, given it's done tastefully, you can see a lot more of these deceased entertainers entertaining again. Have someone who's authorized to use their likeness to have a hologram. You could have an artificially generated version of them. With the large language models of today and the way we're able to do diffusion, even diffuse video. So Sora by OpenAI, being able to generate video like that. Like beyond deepfake, you could just have a whole digital persona of a person that could perform on stage with people. That's mad. That's really cool. Imagine that. You could have them stuck in time. The way they were when they died, they stay that way, and everyone gets to experience them. That'd be pretty cool. Imagine Jimmy Buffett performing in 2086 in the US Virgin Islands. Hologram. Bit different for his type of music, but point is, like, could be done. And could be done very tastefully too. Certainly a lot of the models that we are using now for artificially intelligent design are becoming really accurate at depicting reality. Sora is absolutely brilliant. Just recently, OpenAI released GPT-4o, which is it's the omnimodal model. So GPT-4o, O standing for omnimodal, multiple modes of input. So instead of pushing out your text, your voice, your video, your photo, well, they didn't do video until now, but your photos, your files to different models, it's one model that can do them all. So in the same way that you can do something like, say, point at an image and say, what is that? It would understand the tone of voice of what is that as like a disgusted tone. It would like so many things. I'm just hyped about GPT-4o. It's pretty cool. Yeah. But aside from holograms and reanimating the we also have really interesting venues like the Sphere in Las Vegas, directional audio. I mean, mono's a thing of the past. Whoa. We've been doing mono for ages. And now we're going to not just stereo, but we skipped stereo and went straight to immersive audio with this. Now, I know a lot of you are probably like, oh my goodness, immersive audio. Everyone's talking about immersive audio. It's cool when it's done in the right setting. These immersive audio is kind of not immersive audio. Yeah. The thing is, for immersive audio to be immersive audio, it needs to be grounded in a space. And when you're not in that space, what are you immersed in? So that's the difference here. Anything you're doing on here could simply be done with binaural techniques in stereo. There is no difference. Just the whole thing where Apple's like tracking you and making it all fancy with that. Yeah, that's cool and all, but that's really not a feature of Dolby Atmos. You could integrate that with stereo tracks, and they do spatialize stereo, but they do some other stuff with it that's not like true to it. But it does a good job with mimicking what they're doing with being able to look around and have different things in different places. But spatial audio really is for being able to be in a space. Think like a virtual reality environment. And you hear a sound and it immediately corresponds to an element that you can look at and know, oh, that's there. It immerses you in the environment. Not just, oh, there happened to be a bird somewhere over here and look, oh, there's a bird. No, there's a bird in that exact point in space. You can hear it. The reflections all work perfectly to make your brain think that right there is a genuine bird. Nice. But aside from virtual reality, another really interesting area is just 3D video games. Fortnite. Yes, Fortnite. Fortnite had a really cool venue that happened. I was not a part of it. Honestly, I thought it was a bit overrated until I saw it in class today. I was like, whoa, that's well done. Travis Scott had a bit of a event in Fortnite some time ago where he held a concert in Fortnite. Had his own little avatar. Not really little. It was bloody massive, about the size of a mountain. And it did all the like crazy effects of him glitching in space and transporting different areas and crazy effects with his dancing. And it was well done. It was stupid good. Really well done. So that's another area that we might see pop up a lot is these digital environments. If we're focused on the music and the performer and you're separated by miles, thousands of miles. What if you could just tune in, pay 20 quid for a ticket, and you're with millions, billions of other people all around? Not bad. Now, of course, now venues aren't getting paid, so that, economy changes there. But so did the economy of the TV. So things change. Bottom line is tech has enabled us to tell stories in new ways, and it has changed what we see as the status quo of how you should be portraying things. Look at films. Look at films from the early 2000s. Look at films in the 2010s. Look at the films in the 2020s. They all look starkly different. all of them, of course, except for ones that are trying to mimic an era. They'll look like that era because they're doing that. But the different generations of films, they all look starkly different. There's a thing we expect. And when you are missing that, it doesn't hit the mark with the audience. So be open to change. Be open to being the change that needs to happen. It's important that as an industry, we're able to evolve, and not just evolve for the sake of evolving, but evolve to what the audience hasn't seen yet, what they want to see. Show something new, be exciting. A lot of ideas I tried conveying in like 2 sentences, 3 sentences, that didn't work too well. I think there's a whole video essay that needs to be done on that, but I hope my point got across there. So after break, we went over the different assignments for the week. So how about I go talk about those? Boom, I've teleported. Not really, just editing magic. Not magic, really. Anyway, 2.6 is just the pop culture moment of the week. We were talking about SoundCloud and paying artists. So this event actually happened in class. So I suppose it's technically more of the lecture, but it's really an assignment that we did in class. The assignment was, talk about that. SoundCloud has this new model that they've been rolling out where the money you pay goes to the artists. So the artists that you're listening to, they get those royalties. They get a percentage of what you're paying to use SoundCloud. Now, I'm not sure if this is saying like SoundCloud is becoming a streaming service. I don't think it is. I think it's still like a social media platform of sorts. But it's a decent way of doing things, is instead of judging how much you should be paid based on how many listens you get, base it off of, okay, of the money you're receiving, that's coming in, what percent of that money is listening to what percent of your artists? Or basically divide the money up how it's being actually used. So that money is being used to listen to these artists. So divide it up that way. It's a great way to do it. Now, yes, there are still advertisers which are paying and they're not really listening. So where does that go? I don't know. Maybe then you do give people like some incentive to do something beneficial for the platform by having millions of people. Then, like if you hit 1 million people, then woo, wow, and incentivize people to grow. But I think it's very important that artists are paid fairly for what they're contributing. Spotify is nothing without the artists. Apple Music is nothing without the artists. Yet they treat the artists like they are nothing. So that's unfortunate. You get nothing for like 1,000 listens. It's mad. I think Tidal is probably the best as far as paying out to the artists and paying fairly of the major streaming services right now. But Apple Music and Spotify, this ain't it. This ain't it. It's not. So after our discussion on, hey, is this a fair model? Should we be using this model? How should fans be directly affecting the income of the artist? All that. Chatting about that. We moved on to 2.7, which is just a little video integrative learning. So we will have some videos, some articles to read. Read them. You get hours. You get your credit hours marked that you're not missing class. Directly after that is the 2.8 assignment, which is media consumption and reflection. It's a survey, not really a quiz, but there is still a section of it that you have to answer in like kind of a, not essay form, but just like a couple sentences. Answer it thoroughly, not like, yeah, no, yeah, something elaborate. So that one's going to be essentially saying how much of your time, how many hours a day are you spending on these platforms? How do those affect each other? Is there perhaps a time when you are listening to news that you'll also listen to music or different things like that? So that's what that assignment is. And as long as you're answering the questions, it's an easy 100, easy to just mark that one off. So that one's due on Thursday. So I'll probably do that just right after this video log. And then the other fun thing that I'll mention in the C28 segment, but we're not there yet. Wait. 1.9 is still another thing, which is a breakdown of media platforms. So we're going to be reflecting on a current media platform that we use, and then the predecessor to that. Not saying like an earlier version. So like if you say your platform or your thing is the iPhone. You're not going to go iPhone 15 Pro Max to iPhone 3GS. No, you're going to go iPhone 15 Pro Max to a flip phone. Something that laid down the groundwork for that thing to exist. So, for example, Spotify or Tidal or Napster or Apple Music or whatever else. The groundwork for that is the radio. So, that's the general idea. Not saying just like the earlier version of the product, but you get it. Yeah. We'll need an image of it. Explain how this influences you, the modern version. And then the next version is going to be how does this pave the way to the development of the modern thing. And then how different things shaped how that became what it became later. So how did it evolve? What caused it to evolve? What changes in culture caused this thing to manifest this new variant of itself that's boom, Apple Music, boom, PS5, boom, whatever else you have. And then the final thing for this is it shouldn't be a essay. Now, it is an essay, but it shouldn't be a word essay. It should be put in a creative medium of your choice. Mine is probably going to be video because well, I think I'm all right at doing videos, especially when I edit them and I don't leave long silences. Yeah. Editor, you were supposed to cut that out. But that's the idea. So doing that, and that'll be a fun little project. I'll be doing in tandem with my other thing, which is C28 segment, copyright free Batman sound, whatever. I've been thinking, I want to dive into different types of content. And one of those I really like are video essays. I quite like when people chat about something that's meaningful to them and that has impacted them and go into the history of it, talking about what caused this thing to be the way that it is. And so I've plotted out a video I want to start making, which will be an evaluation of the sounds and music of Portal 2. I know, it's been done so many times before, but you haven't seen my version yet, because it doesn't exist. But it will soon. I'm not sure what the timeline is here. I haven't set it up, but I've been chatting with some of my artificially intelligent agents, and one of them, Miss Modulations, was saying, hey, you should check out Trello. You should use Trello for managing your workflow and getting things done. So I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So I downloaded Trello, and it was really easy to use. And they're not the sponsor of today's video log, but they're just like really good. And so I started using Trello to map out how I'm doing things. And oh my goodness, the road work is so clear. It's so nice to have that. So I'll be working on that. I can show you generally what the workflow I have is. So let's pull up Trello real quick. Boom. And there we go. Sounds and music of Portal 2 video essays. So the idea is, first I got to gather the concept. I got to gather the sounds I want to talk about, the songs I want to talk about, interviews from the team, Mike Moraski, etc. from Valve. I want to give a background on Mike Moraski as a person. Crazy history. Started as an engineer for live audio consoles, and then became a VFX animator, worked on The Matrix, and then went into, like, bro has a crazy history. And I think it'd be really cool if I could get an interview with him. I've been chatting with him back and forth previously, but I think it'd be really nice to be able to get him on an interview again, to just chat about the things he's been on interviews with about before. But just to hear from him, from Mike, these things. Now, on the other needed topics, I'm going to need some citations. I don't know about getting monetized for this video. I probably won't, because I want to play the sounds of Portal 2, the songs of Portal 2. I want to play the whole soundscape idea in its essence, explain it, dissect it. And you're going to have to hear it for that to be conveyed properly. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to monetize this video. If I can't, whatever, so be it. It's still going to bring people to the channel. It's still going to be an awesome video. And I'm going to be glad that I made it. So I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the exploration of a new topic. But of course, it would be nice to be compensated for all the work. YouTube. So next up in my list of how to get this thing done is the structure of it. I need to work out what's my intro going to be. How am I going to build this. It's not going to be the standard video log of intro of like, guys, gals, fellow journalists, and just like all that stuff. Me mocking my own intro. That's funny. But it'll be a different intro for different type of video. Yeah, just figure out how to do it. Build the topics, build a conclusion, and build in the references page somehow. But after I come up with the concept, I'm going to start recording. So I got to gather all the, like, what am I going to use? What actual things am I going to bring up? Am I going to bring up the sounds of the aerial faceplate? I'm going to bring up the panels that they're trying to jam themselves into the wall, or they're upset, or what am I going to bring up? What songs? Reconstructing science. 999999. Like, what songs will I use? So gathering all that and then shooting the video. I'll be shooting kind of like this. I think I'll have some interjections where my face is in. I might not. But throughout the entire video, I need to have some Portal 2 stuff playing. So like gameplay or something like that. I don't have an outstanding computer for playing Portal 2, but it can play it. And I would hate to record like really choppy footage, but I could if I needed to. Hopefully I can just find someone online who can like let me use their gameplay footage or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, then I go with the editing process, the upload process, and the promotion process. Promotion's going to be big. I think I'd like to go into the Frankensteining. Well, not really that. I guess it's Frankensteining, you know, where you upload a video to an artificially intelligent system that can say, this, and this are good segments to upload as a YouTube short. That sort of thing. I want to upload to that and then get some shorts out to help bring more traction to the channel. So I think it'd be nice to have a larger community, you know, show off more diverse crowd of people to me as a content creator. I want to hear more voices. I want to hear more things happening in the C2A community, and it'd be great to get more communication between us. You, the viewer, me, the content creator. It'd be pretty nice indeed. So that's a project I'm working on. The sounds and music of Portal 2. And of course, right next to it is Lost Melodies and Unloved Timbers. I have mixing, and I literally just have the names of the songs, not like what element of mixing I'm going to do, and then mastering as well. I'm only about a third done with mixing, so there's that. But it's good for tracking. Yeah, certainly. And then other projects in the future I'll put on here. I think it might be cool to give control voltages access to this board. Maybe just to see it, maybe to be able to interact with some things. I don't know. But I think it'd be cool to give you that more intimate look at the process and really track things as they're happening. Hold me accountable. But have more direct interaction with the channel and being able to see that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Still working on mixing and mastering Lost Melodies and Unloved Timbers Volume 2. Miss Modulations has recommended that I go ahead and mix everything first, then master everything. I think on the last live session that we did, I did master Unbound Chaos, but I realized after listening to it, oh my goodness, I bounced this too loud. So I'm just going to bring the output gain on the final compressor limiter down. It was not good. So bringing that down to give it a little bit more dynamic range and not so blaringly loud. Yeah. I might reduce the ceiling as well from, I think it was like negative 0.3 decibels to maybe like negative 1.3. I think it'd be a better ceiling for it. Yeah, just don't want it clipping and getting all distorted by streaming services compressing it. Yeah. But expect more of those as well. So I'll be doing my my assignments for class right after this video. I don't want to say I will be doing this, I will be doing that, but I think it's very likely that today or tomorrow I'll start another video, upload something. The kombucha's doing well. As you've seen, I have Powerade and Prime Kombucha brewing. Blue Synthlead and Hydrated Baby. Yeah, wild stuff. So check out shorts and whatnot for that. Of course, I'll make a full length video, probably like 7 to 15 minutes of the actual bottling process. You can see that. But yeah, those are interesting. The McDonald's iced tea kombucha didn't turn out brilliant. It turned out interesting. All the acids, just crazy mixture, crazy flavors. I don't know. It was it's more of a miss than a hit, but it's definitely it's kombucha. It's fun. I definitely prefer my Blue Lotus zing to that. So I might make some of my own blends again. But I do enjoy making these weird kombuchas, but like the past 3 kombucha batches I've made have been just like weird things. McDonald's sweet tea, Prime, Powerade. So maybe it'd be good to make my own tea and make some like tasty kombucha as opposed to just weird kombucha. Maybe these will end up good. Maybe the Prime kombucha is like the best kombucha I've ever tasted, but considering the Prime by itself is pretty nasty, I don't think so. Change to how I'm doing the live videos. So for Behind the Mix, I was saying that I wanted to have it set where it would stream to control voltages only and then release to everyone. But different way I want to do that. It'll live stream to everyone. And we don't have enough control voltages right now for this to work. So for now, I'm not doing it. But once we get about 5 or so control voltages going, I want to get those set up where the control voltages are the exclusive people who can chat in the live videos. Of course, if you have questions, you can post them on the video posts and I will respond to them, but just not live. Now, right now, the reason I'm opening it up, I wanted to have a control voltages only as like an extra perk to y'all, so I appreciate that, but as of right now, because there's just so little communication back and forth when we only have like 1 control voltage in the chat for 4 hours, I'd like to open it up for everyone else to also be able to chat in the meantime. But again, once we get about 5 control voltages going, I'm going to lock it down to where control voltages are going to be the only people who can chat in live chats when I'm doing those mixing and mastering sessions. And Behind the Mix, I think, is going to also include mastering. I might rename the series entirely. I'm not sure. Behind the Session, something like that. But I'm not going to differentiate mixing and mastering in the video. There are different processes, obviously, but I want to have them both represented in the series. So I might just rename the series so that it matches better with mixing and mastering. I think that's it, though. So yeah, lots of fun things planned, a lot more time to do these things. So I'm very excited about that. Happy to have that be the case. And once I get Lost Melodies and Unlived Timbers Volume 2 mixed, mastered, you can expect some crazy C28 projects to pop up. Yeah, I'm excited to really test out my skills as an engineer after the classes that I've had. And yeah, just go wild. From scratch, go wild, make something awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. So, if you enjoyed today's content, you can subscribe. And YouTube will happily give you more content like this from myself and other creators. Very cool indeed. But if subscribing is not enough, if you want to really show how much you loved this content, this one in particular, this video, you can join. Become a control voltage where you'll get access to the Discord server, behind the scenes content, early access to videos like this one, members only chat privileges in the future once we get like 5 years so, and more things down the line as we can roll them out here. So really appreciate control voltages. You help out the channel tremendously so. It's awesome to have people who can contribute to the channel in the way that you do. I appreciate you. If you have any questions or comments, you can, of course, leave those in the comment section below and I'll get back to them regardless of control voltage status, and post them in the space if they're really cool or interesting. I just think people should see them. So that will happen as well if you comment something really cool and interesting or just whatever, that's deserving of being up there in the space. But I hope you all take care of yourselves. God be with you. And goodbye, YouTube.